Hi there folks, Borislav247 here with another Days Gone video guide. Now this guide again focuses on the Surrounded challenge, but this guide is different. It is an advanced guide and it's primarily aimed at all the players that are looking to break into the top 25 global rankings. And that's no easy feat, I can assure you. Currently, you require over 110 million just to get on the 25th position on this leaderboard right now. So that's how difficult it is right now, folks. Now, the information I am going to provide and show on this video will be of help to all players, as it will give you a better understanding of some of the finer points of the game, and there will probably be some things that you maybe weren't aware of and are very handy to know. However, if you're going for the big scores, all this information is essential to know. And I will be including a big reveal that is known to very, very few people, but I'm going to make sure that is not the case for too much longer. This reveal is an absolute game changer if you are going for the big scores. It really is that significant. So, without any further ado, let's get on to the rest of the video. Right folks, as always for any Endless Horde challenge, the two rings that you require are bullets and RAM. Now, as well as these two rings, you also really, for the big scores, you need to be unlocking at least 8 of the patches to a gold standard. Now, these particular 8 are, I'll go along them and show you them all. Surrounded, Survive, the most important one, which is the Ambush Camp Rush, Keep Them Safer, then you have Infested, Outride, and the final 2, which are Dead Before Daylight and Black Friday. Once you have all these in place, you're ready to go. Right folks, pulse firing. Now this is all about bullet preservation, which I'm going to show over 2 runs here. As you can see, it just showed up on screen. I've got an MG55 fully loaded, so 413 bullets. I'm first going to show how many bullets it will take to get 123 kills when I'm just holding down the trigger button and just basically going mad. This is how a lot of people will probably approach this. And if you're not going for the scores in the hundreds of millions, you really don't need to worry about pulse firing at all. You can just fire away like this, as there's 60 ammo boxes in Sherman's camp, so you're never going to be short of bullets. However, if you're going for the big scores, you really want to be using as few as possible. And on this run here, I've used 135 bullets to get 123 kills. Not great. On this run here, you'll see exactly how many bullets I can save just over one very small section of a run just by doing pulse firing. And pulse firing is simply just tapping the trigger button every time you want to fire the bullets. So as before, I'm going to get them to my favourite spot where I would normally start any run. And you can see the difference straight away when I'm doing this. Obviously not using anywhere near as many bullets. Okay, probably going to end up taking a slap here, but it's all for a good cause. Right, there isn't quite as many freakers on this part here as what I had the last time, so I'm just going to move to the other side of the town hall here and get the remaining kills that I need, just in order to show what the amount of bullets I've saved. So there we go, 123 kills. Let's see how many bullets I've used this time. Oh, 91 bullets used. There we go, 44 bullets less. And if you want further proof of just how effective pulse firing is, just take a look at this clip here. you have a larger horde coming at you, or certainly larger numbers, the ratio of kills to bullets is really good. There we go. Fantastic. Right folks, proximity bombs. Now, of all the arsenal that you have available to you, the proximity bombs are being showed on this video for one simple reason. Use them as early as possible in any run. They are fantastic for getting your multiplier going, as when there's a lot of freakers about, they will kill 20 freakers every single time. However, if you're into the later stages of the game, you don't want to see this happening. Right folks, the 9 lives rule, and this is all about the 9 medkits that you can find scattered throughout Sherman's camp. And as you can see, I've got a map on screen showing you exactly where they all are. Now the reason I call this the 9 lives rule is because the only way in which you can regain health on this challenge is by taking a medkit. And for that very reason, you shouldn't be taking a medkit unless you're close to death. And on this challenge, that usually entails your health being on a red bar with the possibility of taking 2 very quick hits. I'll explain a little bit more about this later, but right now I'm just going to jump to a clip actually showing when you should be using a medkit. Okay folks, here is a perfect example coming up of exactly when you should be using a medkit. On this particular run here, I'm already in a spot of bother, but it's about to get a lot worse. And here's the problem, they're all over the place here. My only option is to use a medkit and get over the wall. Now as it turns out there, I only took 1 hit from a freaker when going over the wall, but because there was a very real possibility of taking 2, I wasn't going to take the risk. Now from here on in, I'm just going to let it run, just to show you all just how quickly you can lose your health even when you have it. Because as you can see here, I'm already on very low health. The next hit will, there you go, the next hit and that's it, you're back on the red again. So that is the entire purpose of the 9 lives rule. Just make sure if you're using a medkit, it's because you are in a lot of trouble and you need to use it. Right folks, the next part of this video ties in very nicely with the previous one, as although I did state there are 9 medkits that can be obtained in Sherman's camp, you do have the possibility of finding more if you loot any one of these 8 corpses that are scattered throughout Sherman's camp. Now I will warn you folks, I've done many a run and the most medkits that I have ever found has been 2. In some cases you will simply get scrap, in some cases you will get freaker ears, in some cases you will even get nothing. So I'm now going to show you a run showing exactly where they all are, and we'll just see how many medkits we can get on this occasion. Okay folks, I'll very quickly try and take you to all 8 corpse locations and see how lucky we get. As you can see there, I showed that I currently don't have any medkits, as you never do when you start a new game. So I'm just going to engage the freakers here, just to basically turn them around so that I can get access a bit easier to the first corpse location, which is at the petrol station beside the kiosk. Right, okay, the first of 8, let's see how lucky we can get. First one, straight off the bat I've got one. I can assure you folks, you don't normally get like that when you're on a full run. Second corpse coming right up. Yeah, that's more like it. Third corpse is beside the bus here. Okay, I'm just going to use this time here now to bunch the freakers up a wee bit before heading over to the next location. Okay, now the next corpse location is just after this police car. Right there, yep, more scrap. Yeah, better just get a little bit more time on the clock here. Next corpse, very close to Rosanna's shop. And the next corpse just further up here. Nothing at all for that one. Right, only 2 more corpses to go. Again, more scraps, so only got one last chance here of getting any more medkits. And the last corpse is just right up here, just past these 2 police cars. Right folks, ammunition awareness really only applies to any people who are attempting a full run on Surrounded. As you can see there, that is the maximum capacity for what each weapon can hold. And when you pick up an ammo box, you will also find that you get a very exact number of bullets for each weapon. And that's exactly what you'll get for each of them. Now, as long as your weapon has enough space to take the bullets, it's not a problem. You will pick up the same amount every time. However, here is the problem: in the heat of the battle, you can sometimes maybe get a little bit carried away, or maybe things are a little bit tense, and you maybe stop thinking about this. If you're in a situation like this, that you're pretty much fully stocked on ammo, and you try and pick up another ammo box, you will get next to nothing. Don't make this mistake. And on this particular clip here, 2 weapons are well down, but one of the weapons I haven't touched. You'll only find you will get the ammo for the 2 weapons that are low, nothing for the third. Right folks, the next section is tricky ammo and item pickup locations, and as the name suggests, there are a number of locations where there are a lot of really good items, but they're in really awkward locations to get. Whether it be you've got to go well inside a building, or if you have to unlock the back of a police vehicle first. So we'll start with Rosannas, which has a freezer inside this building that you have to go in to get the goods. The next one is Dos Habaneros, which is exactly the same, having to get into the building and then go through and then into a walk-in freezer in order to get the items. Third is the gift shop and curiosities next to the petrol station. This has 2 ammo boxes, but only one of the ammo boxes is problematic. Okay, on to the next building. Everybody knows this one. This is the Klamath Family Care building. It has 3 medkits and 1 grenade, but I think most people normally take care of this one very quickly before they start any run. Okay, on to the next hard locations, and it's, the 2 police cars beside the town hall. Both have 1 ammo box in the back of each trunk. And finally, there is a 3rd police car that is closer to the petrol station side of Sherman's camp, and again it has 1 ammo box in the trunk of the car. Now that I've showed you them all folks, I'm going to show you exactly how to get them all. And the beauty is of how I do this is, whenever I start a Surrounded run, I take care of virtually every one of these locations inside the first 5 minutes. And I'm going to show you how. Right folks, there is a saying that failing to prepare is preparing to fail, and it is a saying I could not agree with more. I like to start by getting the first 2 police vehicle trunks open, the ones that are just outside the town hall, because as you can see, opening one of these trunks takes a little bit of time. If you've got a freak of horde on your back, you're going to be in trouble. Next location is the Klamath building, and all I am looking to take out of this building is just the items on the ground floor. After this, I'm looking to get out this absolute pathetic excuse of a weapon just to attract the freakers, and also more than happy to use as many bullets as I can from this thing just to keep the timer going. All part of my master plan at the very start. Just really keep at it. Now I'm looking to get on top of this bus, and then again I am going to use the shotgun. I'm going to fire all 6 rounds, and then I'm looking to move on and going to try and open the 3rd trunk of the police car, which is right over here. And I have this timed right down to a T. It's you normally don't have much time to get it open. You just have enough time, move out of the way just as the horde is arriving. Now, I'll be quite honest, folks. If when I am attempting this and one of the freakers does happen to get to me a bit quickly, it doesn't happen very often, I will stop my run right there and I'll restart it. Something that you tend to find with a lot of the players when we're going for the big scores. We all have our own routines. I know that the #1 player as well, Horde Slayer, he is very similar. There is parts of his run that basically, if they don't go quite right at the beginning, you'll just simply stop the game and restart it. Now, at this point in the proceedings, folks, I'm going for the weapons that I now need. I'm always looking to get the weapons first before picking up any ammo boxes, for obvious reasons, because the guns that I'm picking up are by far the best guns in this game, and really you want to be using all your ammo boxes with these 3 weapons, and that is the MG55 that you start with, the SMP9 which I've just picked up, and the Chicago chopper. Now from this point I know that I can get another 2 boxes of ammo before beginning my run. So the first one that I'm going to take care of is the Dos Habaneros store. I do this by making sure I've got around 30 seconds here, then going through this building in order to get to Dos Habaneros. You go through here, there we go. Got all the bits and bobs. Sometimes the freakers will lose you completely, and you actually have to go outside and actually go over to the building next to that one in order to get them chasing you again. But on that occasion, it wasn't quite the case. Now at this point in the proceedings, I'm just looking to basically box them here. Just get them running up this long section here. Now, again, I'm looking to get around about 30 seconds on the clock before going for the last ammo location. Now, I can see I've spawned 2 hordes, but that doesn't matter. I'll still have time to get this ammo box. And you'll see what I mean by problematic. Right in over here. But by taking care of this at the very beginning, you really save so much hassle later on. I mean, you can still get that one later on in the game if you choose to do it a different way, but you're going to have to use an attractor at some point, and even then, it's risky. I'm speaking from experience here. I have had times where it has gone so wrong, and there we go. Right, folks, the last tricky area is Rosannas, and this is how I recommend you do it. Approach from this side, throw down an attractor, and I throw down the wrong one here, by the way, because it's supposed to be an attractor bomb I throw down, because I want the multiplier to keep going. But once you're in here, 3 ammo boxes. Make sure you can accommodate all the bullets, and then make sure that you've got a gun handy before leaving, because there's usually always one of the buggers waiting for you. Right, folks, I've already shown this in a previous video, but I feel the need to show it again, because even though I now use a PlayStation 5, it still glitches with certain rooms. you need to know where you are going when you enter a building. Right folks, on to scoring. Now when it comes to the surrounded challenge, the devil really is in the detail when it comes to the scoring. And I'm going to start with the barrels and crates. Now first of all, there are 22 of these bad boys, and as you can see I've got a map showing exactly where they all are. And each one of these barrels or crates will give you a maximum of 20 kills when exploded. Now before I go into details as to when you should be setting these off, I want to show you something else first. Right, these 4 that I've highlighted for very good reason. The one that's highlighted in red, I basically look to take care of that explosive as soon as humanly possible, inside the first 200 to 300 on the multiplier once I get a run going. Now the other 3 that are highlighted with green boxes, I recommend that you use an attractor before setting these off, as 2 of them, especially being roof based, are a little bit problematic when trying to get the horde around them, unless of course you're using an attractor. Now when should you be setting these barrels off? Most people will be thinking at the end of the run when the multiplier is highest, and you'd be correct. That's exactly when you should be setting these barrels off. Ideally, you want to be setting these barrels off with the very last weapon you're using in the game. That way, you're probably going to be getting well over 1 million per barrel. That's assuming that you're getting 20 freakers around it, which you normally do. So, that's the barrels and crates taken care of. Now let's look at all the throwables that you can get and see where we are with them score-wise. Now, it is worth pointing out that although you start off with a huge arsenal of throwable weapons, bombs, etc., you can also pick up some extra grenades, in fact 8 in total, that are scattered throughout Sherman's camp, which you can see on the map that I'm showing on screen here. As well as that, you also have 6 extra attractors that you can pick up. And as well as this, there is 1 napalm Molotov that is located on the roof of that particular building. Now, when should you be using all of these explosives, etc.? Now, the attractors, they are really a means to an end, so they can be used at various points throughout the game. Now, the rest of the explosives, etc., when would you use them? And I can imagine most people are thinking right now, well, at the very end of the run, Borislav. It's got to be when the multiplier is at its highest, right? Wrong. That is so wrong, it's unbelievable. And this is where the devil is in the detail with the scoring. In order to explain this a bit better, I'm actually going to show you exactly what you get for each particular item score-wise. This was the point, folks, where I truly realised what a huge mistake I had been making for so long. Because I decided to go through every single item and check what the baseline score was for a freaker kill. And I couldn't believe it when I was seeing the same score appear again and again. 20 points. What this basically means, folks, is that all the explosive items are they're tied as the lowest scoring form of basically killing the freakers. The highest and second highest are your melee kills, which will get you 35 points, and the bullets. Now, bullets with the freakers for a standard kill are 20 points, the same as all of these items. However, here is the difference. A headshot with a freaker will get you 50% extra for your score. Now, at the beginning of a run, that's not that significant. It's basically a standard kill like you see here, 20 points. If you get a headshot, it will be 30 points. However, if you are near the end of a run, you all of a sudden have a multiplier where you're getting something, anything between 40,000 to 50,000 for a standard bullet kill. So a 40,000 kill all of a sudden becomes a 60,000 point kill with a headshot. Now, I haven't even brought in bullet penetration into this conversation. You may hit 2 headshots, sometimes even 3, with 1 bullet. What does this mean? Your highest scoring weapon is your bullets. So here is the huge reveal. Never ever leave your explosive, throwables, molotovs or bombs until the end of a run. Why? Because if you do, it will actually cost you millions. The other 2 rules I have here, everybody pretty much knows about these. Always save the barrels and crates until the end of a run. That is just common sense. You only require 1 bullet to set off a barrel or crate. And headshots score 50% extra. They are your highest scoring weapon. You should be just getting rid of all the explosives as soon as possible, and then just be hitting them with headshots as much as possible for the rest of the game. Right folks, on to the last section of this video, and it is all about my run routes and headshots. Now, the run route that I use is essential for any of my full runs that I make in the Surrounded Challenge. I start at either point 1 or point 2, then basically work my way down to the bottom of the map before turning the Horde, heading over to the Broken Bridge, and then heading around the outskirts of Sherman's camp until I start to see hordes respawning, and I see those on the minimap that is on the bottom right hand side of the screen. When I do, these are my escape options, and as you can see, they're plentiful. From here I can make my way back sharply to point 1 or point 2, depending on how quickly the hordes are coming towards me, and then do it all over again. And to show you how effective this is, I'm actually going to show you the run route right now. Here we go folks. At this point, bottom right there, you can see the minimap flashing. That's telling you the hordes are coming. So I get to my favourite spot here and try and pick off a few of the freakers as they're coming about. That is a particularly good spot to hit them with the SMP-9. As you can see, I get some nice headshots, and because I'm still, many a time you will get 2 headshots a time with 1 bullet. Again here, making sure that my aim is accurate, and it makes all the difference. Even as early in the run as this, you can start to see every time the headshot comes there, it's like close, just over 4,500 compared to the 3. This run route also gives you a lot of premium location areas where you can really get a good ratio, a high ratio kill per bullets used. Again, just heading on. As you can see, this run route is so good because you can hit them time and time again, and very quickly too. This basically means that you are creating a very strong multiplier, and at the same time, as you can see, just making sure that those headshots are on point. And that's how it's done folks. And this is also just about the end of my video. It's been a pleasure making this particular video, as it's been something I've been wanting to do for a long time. All I can say folks is thank you very much for watching the video, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Take care.